Hi you guys, it's Bethany with Psychic Renegade Tarot. I'm just going to do a quick live reading on the economy, the US economy, and all the tariffs going on with Trump. So, why does that feel funny? Anyway, my eyelashes are going haywire. So, I don't think I'm going to do free questions today or pick a card. We're just going to look at a specific topic. So, I just want to do this live so it'll be easier to load right now. But is China going to win the trade war? Are Trump's tactics going to work? Is he using too heavy of a hand and he's going to tip things over in the US so our economy totally crashes? I want to look at what's coming next in the near future. So like the US economy and the trade wars in 2025. Show me the outcome. Ooh, it's not going to be what they're expecting. I think, like people are saying, how China is exposing some of the luxury American companies and how they use Chinese labor and then slap luxury labels on it. Not that they don't do quality work, but it's being like upcharged in the US and people are making a pretty penny on it when the manufacturing costs are way lower. So this is going to go on for a while because he's very stubborn with the Nine of Wands here, but he's not going to get the outcome that he wants. It's not going to be a total disaster, but it's not going to be the outcome he wants for the US. The Five of Wands was on the bottom of the deck. I shuffled it back, but that's suggesting that China is going to play hardball and they're fighting back, which I think is brilliant. So, you know, yeah. This is going to take some time to iron out with the Eight of Pentacles. It's going to reshape some parts of the economy. People that rely heavily on international trade, their businesses and distribution processes might be affected. Some small businesses might be affected. But then there's going to be loopholes. Yeah, a lot of people are worried about this Nine of Swords. Not all is lost. There's going to be loopholes with the Two of Cups behind him here where like they're exposing ways to go around some of the companies in the US. I think Americans are going to start to make their own shortcuts and business moves and maybe be able to save money or start their own enterprises. Yeah, people are going to try to figure this out themselves instead of being undercut by American companies. A lot of people are going to realize the system is rigged and figure out how to play the game. Hi guys, I'm looking at the economy. What's up? Hi Vay, hi Omar, hi Latesha. Ooh, I'm dropping cards. Oh, happy birthday. What's up? You're an Aries? Nice. I love Aries season. Spring is my favorite. Nine of Swords. There's going to be a lot of like someone's calling me, sorry. Like it's going all over TikTok. It's going to be on the news. This is going to get out there, like how things are shifting. I think the market is going to go through changes and shifts. Not going to be how Trump is seeing it, but I'm seeing it as with the Knight of Swords and the Fool. It's like the average American is going to take back more control of their finances and look for ways to do that so we don't get pushed around as much by companies. Hi, what's up, Yogi Boo? Hi, Food Lover Mookie. What's up, you guys? Oh, you're on holiday. I'm jealous. Well, have fun. Are you like on a beach or something? I don't know. Any kind of holiday is good in my book. So the economy is strapped in, you guys. There are going to be big changes with AI, with the trade wars, with some of the distribution processes changing for big companies. They're going to get undercut by average Americans starting their own businesses because people are going to realize we have the means to do that. We can go around some of these restrictions. And I think it doesn't apply to smaller business. Like things like drop shipping, you can source out of the country, and a lot of people do. They're basically doing what like big luxury brands are doing as well, like having companies create their products in across the seas, and then they ship the products over, and then they're upcharging those products. It sounds scammy, but it's a common business practice. So, I mean, you have to upcharge your product somewhat to have a profit, you know, so it's not dishonest as long as it's fair, to consider like all the time and the creativity and the coordination to get the product like on your website or available to your customer. There's different ways to do this. People are figuring out new business strategies, new ways to resource their own manufacturers and get around some of the US restrictions. It's just not going to play out how Trump is expecting. I don't know. I don't think it's going to tank the economy. It definitely is shifting stuff. And AI has some part to play in this too, because it's just kind of ramping up at the same time this is going on. So it's causing a lot of changes worldwide, not just in America. Where are you from? I'm from Oregon. I'm an American. Hey guys. So Pacific Northwest. I'm up here, like, I'm close to, like, where they shot, like, Twilight, you know, like that, like, out in the woods, basically. Where, show my feet. Oh, my God, are you going to pay me? No. Feet pics. I heard those make good money. But anyways, you guys, don't get weird, please. King of Wands. People are going to ignite their own creativity. I'm seeing a lot of people create side hustles that turn into main sources of income, and they leave the traditional corporate world. I'm seeing some people leverage what they know about corporate to strategize their own position if they want to stay in that kind of realm. And people that are starting their own businesses, working up their own businesses, they're going to thrive, because a lot of these restrictions are going to affect larger companies, ironically. So it's not going to squash the little guy, but if the stock market takes a hit, it could affect especially elder people that rely on like SSI benefits and stuff, or just their somewhat of that, but also like if they have funds in the stock market. Queen of Swords. So I'm seeing it as other countries are outsmarting Trump. He likes to play hardball, but he's pretty direct with his motives, I guess. And so it's like other countries are kind of outsmarting him in this trade war, and they're not as weak as he thinks they are. So he might be overplaying his hand. I say this all the time that he does that. The Lovers, here he came out. Yeah, he's overplaying his hand a little bit. He has good intentions. He has somewhat selfish intentions and motives behind it. He's a little too old school business. He doesn't like play fair sometimes, or he thinks he can bully people, because that's like a common, you know, it's kind of like an older generation kind of thing to be more like cutthroat in business. It has to be mutually beneficial, and he has to remember that. So he can't play hardball too much, because other countries are preparing to work around us. So we really can't be too strict, I guess. So yeah, Trump needs to pull back a little bit with the Hanged Man and show a little more respect and gratitude for companies we do benefit off of. Countries and companies that work with those countries. And think about the middleman, like who's going to be affected by these changes. Like, it might not affect his bottom line, but like the average American, is he screwing up, you know, like companies that have been around for decades that can't take some of these changes. So some of this is justice for him, just like playing things out the way he is. Again, I'm not saying it's going to tank the U.S. economy, but it's going to cause major changes. And honestly, I think just how like them trying to ban TikTok led to people going on the Red app and figuring out comparisons between China's economy and lifestyle to Americans, and how we've been lied to. This is similar. So Trump playing hardball, or just the government in general playing hardball, is going to actually flip the script on them and expose them with the Justice card here. So he needs to be careful. Oh my God, yeah, it's going to expose some of his backdoor deals, some of his motives. how the economy is being floated by like China, and they're like lying about luxury companies and goods and stuff like that. And they're teaching average entrepreneurs how to work around their tariffs and distribution, and basically being able to set up your own sources, set up your own companies. So I think it's going to kind of slap Trump in the face is what I'm seeing. Not majorly that it's like all is lost, but to cause major shifts, yes. And it's not all going to be bad. So if you're really like stressed about the future, dial it back a little bit. It's not going to be like the sky is falling kind of situation. There's just going to be major upheaval and changes, okay? Oh, thank you, food lover. I'm sure you're cute too. Okay, guys, we can take personal questions. That's all I'm really getting for tariffs and Trump. It's not going to be like crazy, but it is going to be like a lot of changes. So stay on your toes. Have multiple sources of income if you can. Get some passive income if you can. Just, you might have to roll with these changes, but it's not going to be all bad. AI is going to replace jobs. This is just a side note, but it's also going to help people create their own sources of income. So it's going to be good and bad. What is the future of my YouTube channel? Okay, let me see if anyone else asked a question. Hey, what's up, you guys? Hey, Tate. Hey, Letitia. Hey, Ocean and Vay. Okay, let me answer your question, food lover. How's your YouTube channel gonna go? We'll pull a couple cards. Oh my god, that's too many. I'm not gonna take that many. That's too crazy. The Emperor and King of Pentacles. You could make money off of it, so you could monetize. I don't know if you're to that level yet, but you could monetize if you stick with it and you really put in effort. I don't have the time to do this, but creators that do have time to make daily videos, that really does pump up your growth and your numbers, which you need to have up to make money off this. Not that that's your only goal, but I'm just saying if you're trying to make it like a job and like actually get paid for your videos. Be careful to take stock of like what your audience is expecting or responding to. You don't want to like alienate your fan base or something is what I'm seeing. So try to cater, not like totally your creativity cater to what they want, but somewhat. So like pay attention to your analytics and what like does good and what doesn't do good, and maybe like within your editing, song choices, the kind of content that your viewers are responding to is what I'm seeing. You don't want to make it I don't know, I feel like you might be like too intellectual, so break it down to where they can digest what you're saying, because they're not an expert in your field, but maybe you are. So making it kind of like friendly for people to digest that are like not familiar with what you're doing. And okay, make one more closing card. It looks good though. It just looks like you have to pay attention to what people want, what people like, and kind of cater to that, and do a lot of, try to set a schedule, how many times you can post daily or weekly or whatever. And don't be afraid to switch up your content when you're feeling creative or you're feeling like a spark to do that, okay? I don't know. Does anyone else have any questions? I'm going to jump off, you guys, okay? I got some editing and stuff to do. But thank you for popping on, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.